Wrath, envy, gluttony, lust, pride, sloth, and greed. These are the 7 deadly sins, but one of them is the worst of them all. Lust. Lust is an intense, often uncontrollable craving or desire, mostly for sexual pleasure. A lot of people struggle with it, but today I wanted to share my experience on how lust ruined me.
I need W's in the chat. I need W's in the chat. I see red punctures, I'm blowing his back. He's talking real crazy, I take off the map. Yeah, I might take you off.
It all started when I was 7. As kids, we are always unsupervised. And one day, I had access to the family computer and came across a website, The Hub. For a while, I would use the computer, and when no one is around, I would watch porn. Until one day, the computer got a virus. My mom found out, and I got grounded, and I was told never to use the computer again. Jump to my 12th birthday. I finally got my own phone. I had access to everything, which was the worst mistake ever. I became addicted. For years I struggled with lust, but it kept getting worse and worse and worse every day. My addiction kept growing and growing, but it wasn't until I got into middle school where it got worse. When I was young, I was fat. I still am, but I'm working on it. I'm losing weight. But as a fat person, the number one thing fat people hate is working out. And I had PE for my 7th period, which was my last class. For a while, I would always attend PE, but I just hated it. I was tired. We were finally getting to the point where we had to do the mile. And if you don't know what the mile is, basically, every student in PE had to run the mile. And I don't know why, but I was just told so. I was scared to run the mile. Not only because I was fat, but I just didn't want to be embarrassed. Now, every single time I would leave my 6th period to go to PE, the gym was right next to the bathrooms. And in my head, I was thinking, maybe I should just hide in the bathrooms until 7th period is over, and that means school is over, so I could just walk out of school. At first, I was just joking, but that joke became reality. I had the courage to go to the bathroom and hide in there. And the bell rang, and I was low-key scared. I was sitting in the stall, patiently waiting for school to end. As soon as class ended, I walked out of school. I got away with it. For a whole week, I hid in the bathroom. And then that week turned into another week. For my 2nd week being in there, I was low-key bored. So what other way to cure boredom? Gooning. I didn't want to admit it, but yes, I was a class gooner. Or actually school gooner, but still. I somehow got away with it for almost 3 to 4 months. But one day, when I was out on my 6th period, I was called to the office. The principal was telling me why have I been skipping 7th period. And I didn't want to tell him the truth. So I just told him, well, I left because I was sick. My stomach was hurting. And I got away with it because I did actually have a stomach infection. Still do to this day. But the principal told me that I had to go back to PE. If not, I'll be expelled. So I had to go back. And I was forced to run the mile. Which, if I remember correctly, I think my time was 17 minutes and 38 seconds. And I'm not kidding either. 17:38. Yeah. 2020. COVID happened. Online class. For a whole 2 weeks, I attended every single class. But then that 3rd week, I fell. I went back to porn. I was gooning almost every morning. During classes, I skipped. Especially English and science class. I hated the teachers. I felt like they had a vendetta towards me. One day, I cussed out my English teacher. But anyways, back to what I was saying. For all of the COVID school year, I would just play Fortnite, goon, play Fortnite, sleep, wake up, goon. I was surrounded in these lustful desires. And somehow, at the end of it all, I passed. I passed the school year. COVID was slowly going away, which meant school was opening back up again. But due to my condition, I had to stay online. But for my last year of school, I was given the chance to go back to in person, only for 3 hours. Obviously, I attended because it was a guaranteed graduation. For some time, I would obviously show up to class. But there was a turning point. Because I had class from 9:30 in the morning to 11, I would stay up basically all night. And goon, or to watch movies or play Fortnite. And because of that, there was days where I didn't attend or I would show up late and I didn't do my work. I ended the school year with 2 A's and 2 C's, and I think the rest were D's. I think I only had 1 F. But anyways, I never showed up to my graduation. During my graduation, I gooned. My whole life, I believed in God, but never took him serious. But something in me wanted to lock in. I read my Bible from time to time, but I really wasn't fully locked. I kept sinning and sinning. I never even repented. I didn't take him serious until the middle of 2025. I was told it would be a rough journey in following God, but I didn't know it would be this bad. There are days where I struggle to stay on my word. I don't pray. I keep falling into temptation. The battle between me and lust is insane, like the battle between Thanos versus Doctor Strange in Infinity War and the Endgame battle in any anime fight. I know in the Bible we were told we can't fight lust, but we must flee from it. No matter how many times I run from it, I always find my way back. Scrolling on Twitter, I'm ashamed of myself. It feels good in the moment, but after the clarity hits, I feel down. I feel far from God. Even when I repent, I still feel like a failure. I hate the after effect of sinning, sitting in the dark, wondering why I fell into lust again. Another thing I hate about falling into sin is feeling drained throughout the day. Energy real low. One of the reasons why I stopped posting for a year was because of lust. I had no motivation, no energy, and I was in a deep state of depression. The reason why I'm making this video is not only to tell my story on how lust has affected my life, but to let people know they aren't alone either. I know some people are scared to speak out. I know I was, but here I am. Till this day, I still struggle with lust, but I'm trying my hardest to stop. And for people who clicked on this vid, you're also probably struggling with it. And if you're struggling, please comment your story. Don't be afraid to speak up. The more you hold it in, the more it will consume you.
Bye, have a great time.